subscribe, turn on post notifications. Did you enjoy the video? Leave a comment below if you did. Like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment below for a chance to get a shout out in my next video.
Hello, and good morning everyone. As we all know, there is a math exam this Friday, so we are going to study today with everyone's favorite game.
Kahoot! Kahoot!
I love Kahoot. It is my favorite game to play.
I love Kahoots. I love them so much I even play them at home.
I agree with Kayun.
Because you are stupid.
ที่ราชมัยล่ะก่อนที่ฉันจะมีผิวปากแบบนี้ก่อนที่จะทาลิปสีชมพูได้แบบนี้คือเคยเป็นแบบนี้มาก่อนค่ะสารฝันใครที่ปากค้ำปากดำนะคะอยากจะแก้ปัญหานี้แต่ไม่อยากไปสักปากทุกคนนี่ค่ะลิปพิกซี่โนเรียเคยเชื่อมาเลยว่าไม่มีลิปตัวไหนที่แก้ปากค้ำปากดำได้แต่พอได้ลองใช้ตัวเนี้ยทุกคนตอนแรกไม่คาดหวังเลยจนผ่านไป3 เดือนแล้วผิวปากมันจางลงความคล้ำจางลงทาลิปสีชมพูได้แล้วค่ะเนี่ยใช้ได้นานมากน้องจะทำให้ความคล้ำความดำเนี่ยมันค่อยๆจางลงนะทุกคนจะไม่
Guys, look at this. Look, this is from Roblox. So, when we looked at this picture, and we noticed that is from 2 years ago. Yeah, this is what my avatar usually looks like. But if I go on Roblox, and what? Oh man! Okay, still Wi-Fi.
Wait, when is tripod audio? Wait,
He's come. This really comes. Look at my avatar from earlier. Look at my profile picture. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Guys, this is what my character looks like now. Yeah. Probably dead.
ooh, what's these?
As I've been working on my game, one thing I want to nail as soon as I can is the immersion. I don't just want you to play it. As I've been working on my game, one thing I want to nail as soon as I can is the immersion. I don't just want you to play as a big heavy boulder. I want you to feel like a big heavy boulder. Right now I think my destruction does a really great job at selling this immersion, but the rest of the time when you're just rolling around, you feel a bit disconnected from the world. Like right now I just feel like a ball rolling around, not a big heavy boulder. But all this really made me wonder why. Sure, I don't have any particle effects yet or anything, but it feels like I'm missing something way bigger. And that's when it hit me. A beam of light through my window, calling to me. It felt like, no, it was a sign. If I want to solve this mystery, I can't just sit at my computer and program. In fact, I can't sit at my computer at all. If I want my game to truly be great, I have to go where no game developer has ever gone before. I have to go outside. Even though I had all the proper safety gear on, I was still extremely cautious. I had no idea what was out there. Really quickly though, I noticed that there was this stuff absolutely everywhere, and I thought it might be the key to what my game is missing. So very carefully, I collected a sample to examine. Do you know what this is? Oh, it's grass, like from Zelda. So we're making some grass, but not just any grass. We need fluffy, immersive, green, I don't know where I was going with that, but we need a lot of grass. So I started out by modeling a blade of grass in Blender, putting it into Unreal, and it looks terrible.
Bruh.
This piece of grass looks flat and boring, and it just doesn't match the scene at all. And so when I compared it to my sample I collected earlier, I noticed all the color variation that my grass blade just does not have. I also thought that since I'm doing a more stylized game, color could be a good way to bring some depth back into my grass blades, since trying to render real shadows casting from thousands of grass blades is probably the #1 cause of house fires among game devs. So I went ahead and set up a gradient on my grass that lets me pick between 2 colors, and then I can decide exactly how much of the grass is the base color and how much of the grass is the highlight color. Then as I was trying to test this out with a ton of grass, I realized that placing each individual grass blade was going to take way too long, and so I made a tool in Blender that would take my one grass blade and turn it into a giant clump of a bunch of different grass blades. This made variation and fluffiness way easier, and here's what my grass clumps look like without the gradient, and now here's what they look like with the gradient. Way better. The next thing I needed to figure out was efficiently placing this grass all around my world, because even though I would love to hand place each individual piece of grass by hand, unfortunately that might delay my game by about 10 years. What's awesome is Unreal has a system called the Foliage Brush tool, which lets you just paint your foliage everywhere you want it, but we can take this one step further to make all of the grass placement automatic. By hooking up some logic in my landscape, I can basically tell Unreal what is and what is not grass, and then just have it place all of my grass for me. Even if I want to go back through and add like some dirt over here, once I'm done, all of my grass will regenerate so that there isn't grass all over my pathway. But now, even though I have my grass everywhere, things still look a little bit off. There's some randomness in the size of the grass, but because it's so dense, it all looks very even. But if we look at how grass actually grows in a big field, we can see that there's some patches that are going to be taller than others. But sadly, there's not a good way to handle that in Unreal's foliage system, so I needed to find a workaround. So instead of actually making the grass bigger, I just kind of faked it. I basically added this black and white texture that goes all across my landscape, and instead of actually making the grass bigger and smaller, I used something called world position offset. If we take any 3D model, it's made of a ton of points, and one of these points is called a vertex. What we can do in a material is tell the graphics card to render a specific vertex at a different position than it's actually at. Technically, your model hasn't moved at all, but when the frame is actually rendered out, the graphics card will move these points to wherever you want them to go. That's how games are able to do things like liquid and other blobby effects. In my case though, I can basically just say wherever it's white, push some of those points upwards to make the blades look taller, and then wherever it's black, just leave them in the exact same spot. It also gives me some control for how frequent I want these patches and how tall they should be. And as a little bit of a final touch, as they say, I added a third color for my grass to make those taller areas a little more yellow. It just gives it so much more depth and makes it look way nicer. So now we've got amazing looking grass everywhere, and I'll be honest, things are starting to look very still. When we look at our grass specimen from earlier, if we blow on it, we can see it sort of bends and wiggles around, which is what makes the outdoors feel so alive. In other words, we need some wind. The first thing I did was add some logic that would take all the points of my